Good morning. I hope that you're well, that you're having a lovely Thursday. So before we start, actually, welcome to everyone who's very new on this account. Quite a few people have joined the account since yesterday. Good morning, Claire. I think that someone else has joined. I'm going to do a little wave. Good morning, Julian. So this morning we are going to do a lovely interview with Marisa, who is a wonderful artist and a wonderful human being, and I can't wait. So I have started doing these interviews like a few weeks ago. Good morning, Laura. And oh, Marisa's here. Sorry, I hadn't seen. And so I'm going to let Marisa in a second. So I've started doing these interviews a few weeks ago. So make sure that you go to my videos part on my Instagram, and so you can catch up with past interviews. But let's get started with Marisa's interview. So I'm going to welcome Marisa. Sorry, Marisa, for making you wait for a second. And so, good morning, Bess. Lovely to have you join this little interview. So this is all. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am very good, thank you. I'm a little close to the camera, so getting a little bit backward. So I'm so excited about having you on this interview. You might not know this, but I really like you. I always love talking with you. I always love chatting with you. And so I'm excited about sharing a little bit of your energy with everyone because you have a wonderful energy. And I love how optimistic you are and how positive you are always. So, and even though it might not be like that for in every day and every single day, but when you show up, you have this kind of sunny light around you, and I always love when you're sharing it. So I'm excited about today. So let's get started. I'm going to stop talking. This is your moment. You're talking today. And so this is an interview. So the interviews I do are always very much linked to selling art. And I have two questions for you because these are quite short interviews. But before I ask these two questions, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I guess so. First of all, thank you. Everything you said was really, really nice. Thank you so much. So I'm Marisa. I've been painting for about 6 years now, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say, really.
Actually, I didn't know it was 6 years. So what did you use to paint? And can you reveal a little bit about what you are in the process of creating?
Yeah, of course. So I used to paint wildlife, which I'm still really passionate about, particularly elephants. I love baby elephants. But my work's kind of evolving a little bit now, and I want to paint about becoming who you are as a person. I think sometimes it's so easy, isn't it, to feel a little bit insecure about who we are, and sometimes we try and hide it a little bit because we're scared. So I want to paint about that and about not being scared anymore and really stepping into who you are and being a little bit brave.
Okay, so actually, that's an interesting question because I mean, of course, this comes from your own life as a human being. So, who are you actually, and what is the part that you don't want to hide anymore?
Oh, wow. This is a question you never said. So I don't know.
You don't have to answer it. You don't
No,
have to
no,
answer
no,
it.
it's fine. I think there's lots of little things. I think when I was younger, things like how loud I laugh and how much I talk and all those kind of things. Little insecurities, not massive, just all the little insecurities sometimes add up, don't they? And all of a sudden you can find yourself who you are. Have you lost me?
I'm frozen.
Yeah, you are. Oh, ta-da, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry. So sorry, I cut you off in the middle of the most important thing I wanted to know. So can you start again? Sorry.
Yeah, of course I can. I was just saying that it's all the little things. There's lots of little things you can be insecure about within yourself, and be who you are, but not like fully who you are. And so I think it's all about accepting all of who you are, and being okay with it.
Yeah, but I love that you started by talking about the way you love and the way you speak and all of this, which is, it's so interesting because this might be like something you felt was hard to accept, but this is what I find is the most wonderful about you. And so it's kind of crazy that the thing that we want to hide most of the time, there are the things that are so important about us. So
Yeah.
that's really
They're the things
interesting
that
to me.
make us us, aren't they? The things that make us us and the things that people like about us. And I think that's why I want to do the
Yeah.
work, because don't hold back the things that actually make you you and that people really love about you, even if you don't know that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's such an interesting journey. I can't wait to see where you get with this. And so, and I guess this will have a huge, I mean, I know it actually, we've talked about it, that it will have a huge impact on your sales. But so as we're getting back to sales, so I'm going to ask the two questions that I have actually prepared, not the surprise one. So this is what I do. I'm sorry, Marisa. So
I don't mind at all. It's absolutely fine. Ask whatever you want to. It's no problem.
So the first question that I have is, so I really like to think about it like when you are setting out online, it's kind of a journey. So there are things that go really well and make you feel like you're on a cloud, and there are things that are much more difficult. So let's start with the difficult part, actually. What I would love to know is what has been your biggest struggle when it comes to selling art online?
Um, I think I think every step along selling art online is a vulnerable thing, because just putting yourself
Yeah,
out there, you've got to be really
yeah,
brave. And
yeah.
being able to say, this is my work, this is what I've created, and this is how much it is, I think that has been my biggest struggle. Because it's yeah, you need to be brave to do that.
Yes, yeah. So, what kind of feeling did you have when it made you feel scared? What did you feel? Did you feel anything specific that you could describe? I wonder.
Um, feel oh,
What makes you stop kind of from
say that again,
getting
sorry.
through?
What made me
What would make you feel like you don't want to do it? It's a horrible
um
question. Sorry, I'm taking it.
it's just fear.
So,
Fear.
no, you explained really well,
No, no,
actually.
no, you're
And
fine.
Gillian saying, absolutely agree. I'm sorry, that's my brain going into questions. So, Gillian is also saying, absolutely agree. We are so brave. I absolutely agree. You have to be so brave, in order to show up regularly. And because I think, I don't know what you would think about this, but I think that our brains are really good at showing us, giving us reasons why we don't want to show up, actually, and
Yes.
why it's actually better for ourselves not to do it. And it's so powerful, this part of the brain that is telling us, actually, you don't want to post today because you have this and this and this and this. So
Yes.
when this happens to you, actually, what do you do?
You have to remind yourself that your brain lies to you. Your brain might say to you, "No, don't do that. You're not good at it," or "No one's gonna like your work," or all these things, and you just have to tell yourself that's not necessarily true, and I'm doing it anyway because it's important to me, and then you just have to go for it.
I love that. I love that. Perfect. So great. I love that. And Okay, that's amazing. So one tip you would have basically based on this for other artists listening now is to really remind yourself why it's so important to you that you go through this process of posting and selling online.
Yeah. Yeah. And that also, like, your art can affect other people's lives, and that's really important.
Absolutely. So how do you think it can affect people's lives?
I think art often causes emotion, doesn't it? People look at work and that's
Yeah,
what they connect with. There's emotion within themselves that connects with. And it's such an amazing thing, the fact that as an artist, you can see something in your own mind and then put it on a canvas and everybody can see what was in your mind. How amazing is that? It's incredible. And
I
obviously,
love.
if somebody does connect emotionally to that, that's such an amazing thing. It's amazing. And I love that about it. Um,
Yeah,
and and feelings are important, aren't they? We base a lot of our decisions on emotions, and so if you can put positive emotions out, or people can feel that when looking at your art, then that's,
yeah.
yeah, that's an amazing thing.
It brings up so much for me what you're saying. So what you're saying about the mind, it's so interesting because I think that in our world, words are really, really powerful,
Mm.
and they are much more listened to than what we see or what we feel. And I think
Mm.
because maybe words can affect more people at once than what we see can, or something like that. But actually, when you create art and that you affect one person and you impact the way they are going to feel in their day and they're going to make more decisions, and you're impacting more and more and more of these people, then you're impacting a group of people and the way they take their decisions. And so, I mean, it's a bit of, I'm going a little bit in a different thing. I was thinking a lot about politics and how politics are based a lot on words, while maybe we should think a little bit more about what we see, what we hear, what we taste when we talk politics, what we smell, things like that, because we have different possibilities. But anyway, and the other thing that, yeah, I think you define really well. Um, how I wonder if I'm frozen again. Tell me in the comments. Um, sorry, I think I'm frozen again. Am I not? Sorry, everyone. Oh, Marisa has gone. Or maybe that was Marisa who was frozen. Jennifer, hi. Yeah, Gillian, that old saying, feel the fear and do it anyway. Politics definitely smell bad at the moment. And I don't mean like to give any kind of my personal, Marisa will be back. So I don't mean to give any personal like um, thing about what I think about politics. It just feels like, I'm going to invite Marisa again in. It just feels like, yeah, I think that, and that's related to what Marisa you were saying. Hi back. So to what you
I'm
were
back.
saying.
Sorry.
We all have our things. So we all had like a moment where we're frozen, we're back. That's the Instagram thing. And I guess my internet connection is really bad where I am. So it might be my fault actually. So I think there is an issue where, I mean, personally, I think in politics and everything there is an issue with words, and it might go a little far from what we're saying, because you might not want to talk about politics, and I don't want to talk about politics either. But I feel like what you're saying, that you're impacting one life and another life and another life, is that you are impacting society, and that I hear a lot of artists actually telling me that art is sometimes not seen as essential. And I think that really understanding how you are impacting a human being and therefore you're impacting society makes it really essential. And it really explains how you, as an artist in your studio, you are essential in society. So I'm very
Mm.
passionate about this topic. Am I not? So that. So thank you so much for sharing this. That's really interesting. And so now that you've shared the struggle, that you have to be very vulnerable and show up and feel, as Julian is saying, feel the fear and do it anyway. What would be actually your favorite thing when it comes to selling art online or
Um,
selling art at
you
all?
make so many connections with so many lovely people.
Yeah.
It's really nice when someone contacts you about your work and they want it, and then that person becomes I don't know, just part of your life really, because you just make a connection with them and it's lovely. Particularly
Yeah.
like if you keep that going, and yeah, it's really lovely. And to think that somebody will spend the money that they have earned on work that you've produced is an amazing thing. All of it is, it's all worth the fear. Being able to sell your work and people want it and knowing them a little bit, that is all worth feeling vulnerable for.
Perfect. I love that. So if someone actually is kind of would like to have this feeling of making more connections, um, what has been your best way actually to create this connection? Because we all have our favorite ways. What has been your way?
I found just being chatty really helps. People are happy. It's really nice actually when people respond to my stories, and when it's just a conversation, and that's when, so sometimes that leads to sales and sometimes it doesn't, but either way it's
Yeah.
okay. That's, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't
What I
remember your
particularly what I love and I would really recommend everyone to actually do is to have a look at Marisa's stories, because I think Marisa, you might just share them for fun, actually, but I think that's a fab work because you're not always sharing things which are related to art, and they're more related to just you having fun as a human being and your personality and enjoying life. So for example, I mean, if you're not you don't have to actually look at Marisa's stories every day, but you do need to have a look at Marisa's stories today because there is a really fun video in it, a bit quick. But so I think that's really important, and what you're doing there actually, which is really interesting, is that you're connecting with people on other levels than just the artworks. You're really creating connections which are about being human beings. And Jennifer says in your work, brings bush color and brings such color and joy to others' lives. Absolutely. This is so
Mm.
true. Absolutely.
Thank you, hun. I think as well the connections works both ways, doesn't it? For me it's really important, because on your own all day in a studio, it's really important to have an interaction with someone, even if it's over messages. So the stories allow me to do that.
Absolutely. I love that. All right. So, okay. So, thank you so much, Marisa, for sharing all of this and for answering my surprise questions, for bearing with me while I was frozen and coming back into the live when you were frozen. And also, of course, for answering my actual questions about what your struggle is and might have been, and what your tip is about it, and also what you love when it comes to selling art online. So thank you so much for sharing all of this knowledge. And I would definitely 100%, not 100%, 1,000% encourage everyone listening now, if you're not yet, but I think many of you are already, following Marisa. So do follow Marisa on Instagram. You just have to click somewhere here. I think your handle on Instagram is Marisa Harrison Art, isn't it? Oh, here
Claire.
goes the freeze. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Thank you so much for having
yeah,
me. It's been so good to chat with
yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you so much, Marisa. What are you up today? Today?
And I can't hear you.
Okay. What are you up to today before we end the conversation? What are your plans?
Oh, today I'm planning my next painting. I'm just about to pull a
Mm,
colour of the day, so I can do a smaller painting,
mm,
and then I'm planning
nice.
my painting after that. Yeah. Thank you for having me. It's been so lovely
Thank
to
you.
chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marisa. Thank you for sharing all of this. That was really inspiring. So thank you for your time and for
Very
doing
much.
this interview. And I hope that you have a lovely day. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
You
I hope that you
too.
have a great day. Take care,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you, Marisa. See
Bye.
you soon.